welcome to another video. Welcome to Healing Consciously. We are so excited for this video today. Today I have a special guest and meet my amazing soul sister, Alycia Joy. Those of you who had seen that seminar on YouTube, it's still in the list of one of my YouTube videos, will know who Miss Alycia is because she was one of the key person on that video. And today, Alycia and I are here as survivors of narcissistic abuse. We wanted to hop on to this video today to offer you a message of hope and inspiration, especially for those individuals who find themselves living in a consistent triggered state. And so I will introduce Alycia a little bit more and give you a little bit about my background, and then we'll jump into the message of inspiration and hope. And so let's start with a little bit about me. If you are watching this video, chances are you've seen my other YouTube videos. My name is Necole, and I am a survivor of narcissistic abuse. I am a licensed occupational therapist, a clinical hypnotherapist, and an advocate for survivors of narcissistic abuse. And I'd like to introduce you to Alycia, who was a client of mine, came into my practice, and she have done amazing, and has now joined forces with me to heal the world and get individuals out of this triggered, toxic, narcissistic state. And we share that same core mission, and that's basically what attracts us so much to each other. And her spirit is so amazing. She's like this phoenix. She has an amazing story, and you know, and it is inspiration. And I thought, what better individual to have to bring with me today to share this message of inspiration and hope, especially if you have found yourself a survivor of narcissistic abuse and you are living in a triggered state and want to be able to change all of that. This is what this message here is for you today. And so, Alycia, I'll give you a minute to introduce yourself and a little bit of background. And so, who is Alycia?
Who is Alycia? Well, I do want to first start out by saying, we didn't, with this green and red Christmas color, it's planned, it's not planned. And you got on camera today, we log on to prepare and everything, right, and catch up. And I'm like, you look stunning. Red is your color. You look stunning. We look like Christmas. So.
That's amazing. Yeah.
So,
come on.
Yeah, so, well, I am Alycia Joy, and Necole and I mean, she has been a huge part of my journey, and it has been a very hard journey, very hard, very worth it, always worth it, but also hard. And you have been, I mean, yes, you started out, I was your client, and you helped me. You were really one of the key people, integral in helping me make sense of my journey, because what is so hard about emotional and psychological abuse is, and I have authority to speak on this, by the way, folks. I don't have credentials, nothing, no letters behind my name. Necole has all the letters. What I do have, why I can speak with authority on these things and why I'm an expert, is my life. My life story. My story. It is very epic. And and so I can say with confidence, I have been abused my whole life. I have had every type of abuse: emotional, psychological, physical, sexual, spiritual. I have suffered a lot, and I have been in the clinical world for decades. I was in school for trauma recovery coaching for a while before God said, no, actually, now you've been doing this a month. I had this whole business plan, everything. And he's like, actually, no, now quit that. Now you're going to school for this. I'm like, my story is very interesting, and Necole has been integral in my journey. And I will say, healing from, and Necole and I share this passion of wanting to change this in the court system, wanting to help you folk, because what will change it in the court system is when we help people and we impart, again, Necole and I, nobody can impart anything to anyone with any amount of authenticity or authority that they have not already walked through the fire and come
Yes,
out on the other side better.
yes.
And we have. And so this is why we have authority. And I can say, physical and sexual abuse, healing from that was very easy compared to this type of emotional and psychological abuse. And here's why. It's very clear cut. The evidence is there. It's very easy. We understand it from a clinical perspective. We've had decades and decades and decades of research and working with folk with EMDR and CBT and all these different types of therapies, right? And so we know clinically what works. It's much faster to heal from physical and sexual abuse. Now, clinical studies more and more are coming out that psychological and emotional abuse, the impact it has, the trajectory, folks who are children who are growing up in this, right? And they're put in the middle, they're the victims. They are in this court system that is not defending them, is not naming, not understanding that the trajectory for people who suffer this type of abuse and grow up like this, mental health issues, addiction issues, teen pregnancy, suicide, lack of employment. I mean, it is a drain. And I don't say this condescendingly, but it does drain our society, our resources. If the mental health system and the court system were working, more people would be thriving. It's not working. Look around our world. And so we have a passion to have the courts recognize this, to help empower you. This is our vision statement for you, for everything we do. We are here to help educate you, equip you, encourage you, be your biggest cheerleaders, to do your own work and help bring clinical understanding and language to your lived experience so that you
Basically,
can
provide
feel.
you with the tools.
We're going to give you the tools. We can't do the work for you, but we can give you the tools, and we will be your biggest guides and cheerleaders so that you can heal and you can flourish and thrive. You don't have to survive. You weren't created to survive. You were created to flourish and
Yeah,
thrive. Okay.
right.
And that is what we want to do. So through our stories and what we have learned, that is the whole goal of this program. We want to bring hope. We want to show you, hey, folk, this is not a way of life. It's not how you were designed to live. You don't need to live. And we have the tools to help show you the way out, and will help you do that so that you can be everything you were created to be, and you can have joy and hope and peace. You don't have to live defined in a triggered state,
Third stage.
anxiety,
Yeah.
depression, chronic health issues, chronic pain, insomnia. That's not the abundant life. That's not a way to live. So we are here to guide you. And
Well,
that is that good?
that's not the life that our creator meant for us, right? But we
Right.
do, as human beings, find ourselves in these situations that offers us this trauma. And it is my belief, it's my core understanding and belief that these situations, these very triggered, traumatic, abusive, toxic dynamics that we find ourselves in, it's there to break us down so that we can find ourselves. And there's just too many beings, too many good people, good-hearted people who find themselves in these awful toxic dynamics, that they were broken down to a shell of themselves, right? Because this is why I hear all the time with my clients. They lost their identity. They no longer know who they are. They can't make decisions for themselves because they were taught that they are not worthy by a toxic individual, or they were taught that, not to trust themselves, or to trust even others, right? They lost their sense of trust. They lost just the drive to strive and in life in general. And so, our message of hope that we'd like to bring to you is that you were not meant to live this way. The common theme that Alycia and I share is that we understand that concept, that while these situations broke us down, that's not where we're meant to stay. We're not meant to stay in a broken down. A loving father does not create us so that we can be broken down and remain in that broken down state. And so our hope that we'd like to offer to you guys today is that, that Alycia and I, our story can provide some sort of hope and inspiration to you, that we were once there where we felt low. We were at our lowest. I can tell you that all that I just mentioned, doubt in myself, just being able to make decisions were so difficult for me because I consistently doubt myself. And these are programming that was programmed into us through our abusers, right? And it's a side effect in even years later. And if you're here as a narcissistic abuse survivor, years later, you're still living with that trauma. These people are still renting room in your head. You're still arguing with them in your head. They basically, still torment you. And, as individuals such as myself and Alycia, who has managed to heal out of this kind of state, we're here with this message that you too can heal, and you too can get out of that state, that triggered wind up survival state. That is a state of the devil. That's not how the divine wants for you to live. That is all a work of the devil. And so we have these doubts, or these doubts was planted in our head when we are in the traumatic state, that we're never going to be any better. We are lazy. We are, we lost our whole sense of self, of who we really are. But within, deep down inside of you, there is a being, okay, that knows exactly who you are. And you are not your thoughts. You are not your past experience. You are not your situation, okay? You are a divine child of the Most High. You are royalty. And of course, so the devil will lie to us and tell us that we are nothing, and we believe it, and we live that way. So our message of hope is for you, to give you that inspiration to so you can have a better understanding of who you are and your true divinity, right? Your true beingness that is within you, that got beaten down and trampled down by toxic, narcissistic individuals that we happen to bring into our life. They are there as catalysts to help us to really truly find our divine self. So the spirit of the season, right? The holiday season, we have Christmas in a few days, and then we have the New Year's in next week. Next week we celebrate New Year's. In the spirit of the season, I would like to challenge you to think about a New Year's resolution, right? That's what we do around the New Year's, right? We all make a resolution. And in New Year's, that symbolizes fresh start and a new beginning. I'd like for you to take a minute to reflect on your New Year's resolution for 2025. What does 2025 look like for you? Think about a resolution that focuses on healing, personal growth, personal progress. Think about a new year where you become a new you, a new version of yourself. You're able to step into that new version of yourself. What does that look like? What does that New Year's look like? And Alycia, December 2023, what did that year look like for you? What was your life?
2023 was the year of transitions. You lost everything. You lost everything by leaving that abusive marriage. By right, truly did lose everything, and a lot of people came against me. I didn't have a lot of support. It was what I needed on my journey because that's how I needed the space. God had to remove the old people, places, and spaces so He could bring the right folk, people, places, and spaces who knew and had a fresh lens and could love me through my healing journey. It
Well, we need
wasn't the
that
same
community.
people.
That community is so
You
important.
do, and you do, but oftentimes you will need a different community thing because when you are in this type of abuse, you learn to chameleon, you don't know who you are, you make yourself small, you lose your
Yes,
voice,
yes.
and
All
and
part of the
and
abuse. Those are symptoms
all
of
of
the
it,
abuse. Yeah.
all of it, all of it. And so to cast vision for what does it mean not just to survive, Alicia Joy, you've survived your whole life. That's not what I created you for. I'm cutting that off. I
Amen.
created you to flourish and thrive, and that's
Amen.
going to require a hard journey and new people. And so hope was my word, and my phrase was I can do hard things. I told myself that every day, all day long.
That's why healing is a journey. And so, it is that I just want to stress the importance of healing from narcissistic abuse because, and the importance of seeking help for your healing.
Yes.
Narcissistic abuse is so deep ingrained. It's a deep ingrained trauma. And it's not a trauma that, or you can just get over with mantras, right? It's a trauma that needs to be dealt with on a very subconscious level.
And you need a different type of folk to help you through
Absolutely.
this type of abuse. Most therapists will not be helpful to you. My therapist, I had to fire. She did not understand as I healed. Your life, you were filled I was defined by depression, anxiety, insomnia, chronic
because
health
it's textbook, right? They can only go with that textbook knowledge. And this is why you really truly need a community of individual who have gone through, and this is something that we mentioned in the beginning of the video, who have gone through the experience of the abuse. Because and I'm not saying that in order to heal you have to only get a therapist or help from someone who has gone through the abuse, but it's so much more potent when you can sit in front of an individual who can finishes your sentence. When you said, well, this happened to me, that happened to me too, because we've been there, and you can identify in such a level, and that individual are able to identify with you. And also, most importantly, one of the most important things that that with me and my practice and my client is, to give them some sort of assurance that I see you and I heard you and I know exactly what your experience. I know exactly how you feel, and I know exactly what you're speaking about because I have been there. So it's that sense of validation that an individual who has not gone through, these kind of abuse, are not able to, come from that perspective as far as the healing goes. Now, I'm here today because I had to go on my healing journey as well. And part of my healing journey is why I became a clinical hypnotherapist, because I realized and recognized what it took or what I needed personally to really truly heal from these trauma. And, as a hypnotherapist, we work a lot on the subconscious stuff. And in the subconscious is where these triggers, toxic individuals and narcissists use to press our buttons, to wind us up and get us to lose our mind, right? So those triggers are stored there, especially during the relationship. And so in order to get rid of those triggers, like I said, it's not something that you can get rid of with mantras. It's something that it takes deep subconscious work. And so with that, I'm going to transition over to, as I had encouraged you to think about your New Year's resolution. What do you want your life to look like for 2025? Do you want to stay in that triggered state? Is that a happy place for you? And if it's not a happy place for you, we'd like to offer you a glimmer of hope and introduce our Blueprint to Freedom from Narcissistic program. And like I said, this program is kind of like a ball of all my clinical knowledge, all my experiences from past traumatic, toxic relationship. and and everything, my learning and downloads and that I've put in a ball that had helped me to get to this state, this very peaceful state and very centered state, and mentally and emotionally centered, right? And that's the state that we want to be in, because from a mentally and emotionally stable state, right, we can be able to stand in our own power and sit in our truth and make decisions and respond and not react, right? Which is a lot of what the triggering is. When you're in a triggered state, when you're in fight and flight, you respond, you react, and these reaction gets a lot of folks like us in a lot of trouble, especially when you're dealing with a toxic narcissistic individual, because they use those triggers to press your button so they can get you to react, and then they use your reaction against you and point and blame you for being crazy. So it's called reactive abuse, right? And so if you want to get out of that reactive abusive state, and if that's what your goal is, and you can vision that for 2025, we would like to offer you a glimmer of hope and introduce you to this Blueprint to Freedom program. And what this program does, it takes you to a whole healing journey to dismantle the triggers so you can get to that stable and mentally and emotionally stable place, so you can live with peace in your heart, and you can create a stable environment for your family. You can respond to challenges, and you don't no longer has to react and have it be used against you. And so if you are here today and that's something that you might want to consider for 2025, we'd like to, encourage you to reach out. I will leave a link below this video where you can go and click on the link and schedule a 30-minute, we call it a discovery session, where we do a screening to see if you're ready for this program. This program is very result driven, and you have to be ready for the healing, because it is work at the end of the day. I can provide you with the tool, but if you do nothing with it, it's not going to work for you. So, this is why we do a high screening to make sure that you are at that state where you are ready to do the work for the healing, and if that is you, and you can identify, and you are saying right now, yes, I want to break free, I want to break out of trigger, I want to reclaim my identity, I want to live my life in peace, I want to feel stable, I want to make decision and not have to second guess myself, I want to love myself, I want to feel whole again, I want to feel love again, all of the things that was taken from us before these toxic dynamics, and so much more. Because when you go on this healing journey, you discover your true identity, and your true identity is so much more than what you think or who you think you are. Okay, and Alycia, do you have anything to add to that?
I do. I always do. Well, I would say, just to kind of exhort people, why this is, first I want to say we are here to help you, and we are not going to leave you high and dry. If we determine in the screening that this is not an appropriate program for you yet, again, this is an intensive program. It's very result driven. You do have to be at a certain stage. If we are not rejecting you if we don't accept you. If you're not ready for this program right now, we are still going to help you. It will look different. And I would say this is worth the investment, and here is why. Nobody will love you and respect and honor and fight for you like you will. You need to do it. If you can't fight for yourself and invest in yourself, is it an investment? It is. But you know what? You pay the cost you are going to pay more in the long run financially if you don't attend to these
And
issues
what
in
else will it
medical
cost
bills,
you?
mental health.
You
It is. My health
know?
was destroyed. I was dying. My body was feeling. I had all of these health issues, all these neurological issues. It was a part-time
From
job.
the
I was at the
stress and
doctor.
triggers.
Stress. It was the stress, the chronic stress of my nervous system being triggered
Mhm.
all the time. And you guys, when I left that abusive marriage and I had a very long, hard healing journey, and Necole, again, it would have taken longer for me to get through it without her. And this is why I say, why do you need someone who has actually walked through it to help you, not just studied in school and read some textbooks? No, we are better together. We are more powerful together. Again, clinical side, Necole, both of us have a story and have actually done the work, but she has all the credentials behind her name, investing in
I
your.
have the know-how, and you have the,
Yeah.
the all the encouragement in the world and the
Yes.
motivation to
The motivation, the
yeah,
stories, the
yeah,
stories
yeah,
of that prove that
yes,
when you
yeah,
work it, it's like they say in the 12-step programs, it works if you work it. It does.
it does.
You, like anything in life, will
Yeah.
get whatever as much as you put into it
What
is
you
what
get
you'll get
out,
out
what
of
you
it.
put in. Yes.
Yeah, and also, so we are here. It is worth the investment. Investing in yourself is the best investment you can make. Honoring yourself, knowing who you are,
Yes.
this healing journey,
And you
because
are
you know
worth
what, I will
it. Can I
tell,
can I
you're
just
worth
say,
it.
yeah.
You're worth it. You need to honor and respect yourself and protect your peace and heal, and it will bless everyone around you. But mostly, this is you, you, it is your right to be free, to live free,
Amen.
to live
God-given right.
who you were designed to be, to live with peace and
Mhm.
hope and joy. It is worth it. It's worth it. You are worth it. And we will help you, and we because we've done the work, we see the fruit of, hey, when you're living in that state, life is, I
Oh,
used to
yeah.
wake up every day and I was like, how am I going to get through another day, let
Yes.
alone a whole
Yes.
life of this, right? And I'm
Yes.
in physical pain, mental,
Yes.
emotional, spirit.
Yeah.
I'm just a mess, and my health is failing, and it's failing. I do the work. Guess what? I've never looked better. I look better now. I physically, mentally, I've never been clearer. I spiritually, I
Brain
am
fog is
just
one of the
connected
side
and a
effects.
peace.
Yeah.
Physically, my health, all of these health issues went away, and my doctors are like, Alycia, it was a part-time job. You were at the doctor or a specialist every week. You were on all these medications
I
just to
can
simply control,
identify. Yeah.
right? Like you had no energy. You were taking naps. I mean,
Oh,
it took
brain.
everything just to
Brain.
survive.
Yeah.
Now, guess what I do every day when I wake up? I thank God. I'm like, thank you. What adventure are we going on
And
today?
on
Like, I
today,
live
yes,
for it.
yes,
I
let's
live.
start our day
Life
starting.
is
Yeah,
an adventure.
that's what it is.
I
Amen to
never
that.
know what my day will
Yes,
bring, but it always
yes,
brings
yes,
amazing,
yes.
so this is what the vision we want to cast for you is: life is hard. Yes, it's true. Life is also beautiful. We want to help you be able to not have to calibrate your level of joy based on your circumstances. Don't let your
You're not
circumstances
your circumstance.
define how you show up.
When you do the healing and you cover that new version of yourself, that real
Yes,
true identity, that's where the peace and the joy comes
it
in.
is.
So it doesn't
It
matter
is.
what's happening around you. You
Nope.
are in bliss because it's you know who you are, and you
Yeah.
don't have you're no longer coming from that chumped up, triggered state because
Yeah.
someone said something. And we know in this situation we have these toxic individuals, defaming our name, defaming our characters.
Yeah.
How many of individuals here can identify with that? You don't have to be in that triggered state. I mean, I'm at a state in my life where it doesn't matter what anybody thinks about me. Like
Yeah.
I'm in peace. I know who I am. And so, you imagine being in that place where you know who you are. It doesn't, and when things are said about you or done, it does not phase you. You like that coconut tree that is just standing there in the
Yeah.
middle of the storm, and the wind may be blowing the leaf, but
Yeah.
the trunk of that tree is so stable and firm. And this is what healing does, right? It
Yes.
doesn't mean that you're not going to get these struggles, right? Or get blown by the wind.
Yeah, the palm tree still blows, but
Concrete does.
the
Yes.
trunk is, you
But
won't go
the
down.
trunk is still stable, and that's that
It is.
stable place that our Blueprint to Freedom program does. It brings you help you to cultivate that stability in your life. So when the winds come, when the craziness, we're living in a world where crazy things happens all the time. We can't
Yeah.
avoid it, but it's not, it's how we respond to it, right?
Yes.
And well, notice I didn't say react, because we don't want to
Right.
react. Reacting
Right.
get us in trouble. I've had too many
It,
people
it does. It does.
who have come to my healing program, who have reacted in even ways where they end up losing their children, because of reaction. So we want to be able to live in a very centered place, right? Mentally and emotional centered, being confident in knowing who you are, right? Because once you know who you are, that's where the confidence comes in. And so
Mhm.
we want to be able to help each and every individual to find their true self. We want to provide you with the tools so you can become the version of yourself the divine God, the divine created you to be. You weren't created to be in a triggered state. You weren't created to live your life like this. Look, I was once in a point in my life when I seriously considered walking away from my children because I was in such a toxic situation. I did not have the energy. I did not have the strength. Imagine that. Just the thought of it. And it did cross my mind. And I knew that, in order to be able to truly be there for them, I had to become the best version of myself. Right? And what is the best version of yourself look like? Is that something that you'd like to explore in 2025? And if so, we want to give you that encouragement to go ahead and click that link below and make that 30-minute consultation. It's going to be a good chat where we get to share stories anyways. So it's going to
And
be
it's
fun.
free.
And
You
if
have nothing to lose.
and
You
if
have nothing
it's
to lose by talking to us.
you have nothing to lose, but
And everything to gain,
yeah,
really.
yeah. So you have nothing to lose but fear. Get over the fear of it, because that's
Correct. I like that. It's a
yeah,
good
you
phrase.
have nothing to lose but fear, and we want to, and that's what the program is. We get rid of all the fears, and because the fear is what constitute the trigger and the trauma, and then the flight and flight, and we don't want the stress and the fear. The only thing you have to fear is fear itself. And
Correct. That is the worst thing.
to make the end of 2024 be that epic moment when you decided that you're not going to no longer allow fear to stop you from striving, to stop you from becoming the best version of yourself. Click the link below and make that free consultation, and we'll do a screening and see if where you are in your healing journey, and if this program will be a good fit for you. And so with that, I'm going to leave you with a holiday message. It is my greatest prayer and desire that you will feel that peace, that you will feel that encouragement, you will feel the love that God, the divine, has for you, his children, and you will know that you are worth so much more than trauma and trigger, and know without a shadow of doubt that that's not who you are, and that we have an adversary that lies to us and tell us you'll never become anything better. This is your life. This is the state that you have to be trapped in and stay in, because that you don't deserve it and you don't worth it. You are worth it.
Yes.
Okay, you are worth it, and you are so much more than your triggers and your trauma. Okay, and we are here to help cultivate this amazing community where you'll get all the support and the tools that you need to break through to that healing in the coming year. Alycia, do you have any final?
We want to help bring understanding to you, because you can't start to dismantle anything you don't understand. And this type of abuse is sinister. It's confusing. It's you. I mean, I used to say, no man will ever love. He used to tell me that. No man will ever love you like I do. Your life's going to be so much worse if you leave. It was in many ways only because he made sure it was. But you know what? It also
Break
was
you down to
better.
that point so you can believe it.
Right. Your stories, my stories. We can connect with really anyone based on our life stories and what we have been through. We truly we've got you. We've got you. The
That's
details may be a
the
little
same.
different in our
Mhm.
stories, but you know what? The effects of this abuse, just like grief,
It's
grief
still the same.
looks,
Yeah.
grief, yeah, the stages are still the same. We know how to get you through this, and we're passionate about it. We're passionate because we've seen it work in our own lives. We've
Mhm.
seen it launch us into these
Yeah.
amazing the
So
opportunities
many
I have.
people. Yeah.
I mean, I stayed small, I would never have the connections and the opportunities. I wouldn't trade this for anything. If I had to do this journey again, please Jesus, I don't want to, but if I had to get, if this is what I had to go
Yeah.
through to
Yeah.
get to
To
my
get to
point
where you
here,
are. Yeah. Yeah. To
I
find
would do it all
yourself,
over.
to
It
find your
was
true
worth
self.
it.
Yeah. That you were once taught to believe by very insecure individuals who want to break you down so they can feel better about themselves. You are a powerful being.
Yeah.
These narcissists, they don't choose weak people. They choose strong, independent people. And if you are a victim of a narcissistic abuse, you're strong and you're independent. And
Yes.
this is why they choose it, because you are a challenge for them. They love the challenge. They're not going to choose weak people because they're no challenge for them. So that's why they break you down. That's why they lie to you, assassinate your character, and all these things so you can feel like a nobody and you can live there. Don't allow the devil to lie to you. Don't allow the lies of the devil to stop you from striving and living the life that God meant for you to live. Click the link. Now, let's talk. And with that, we're going to say happy, happy, happy holiday season. And, if you click that link, we will see you very, very shortly. Have a good one, you guys.